95% of the deep ocean remains unexplored. Yet even with our most advanced technology, new discoveries still defy logic, like a 60-meter disk on the Baltic seabed scrambling all electronics, and a golden sphere found 3,000 meters down that no scientist can explain. In 6 mysterious things discovered in the deep sea, we reveal not just what has been found, but why each revelation forces us to question everything we thought we knew. The deeper we look, the more the mysteries multiply. So what are we truly missing beneath the waves? In June 2011, a Swedish expedition led by Peter Lindberg set out across the northern Baltic Sea, searching for shipwrecks with side-scan sonar. Instead, their instruments revealed something no one expected: a perfectly circular object, 60 meters across, resting at a depth of 91 meters. Its outline was so distinct and symmetrical that it drew immediate comparisons to the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. Extending behind the disk was a 300-meter-long stretch of seabed, flattened as if something massive had skidded to a stop. When the team returned with divers and remotely operated cameras, the mystery deepened. Within 200 meters of the object, electronic equipment began to fail. Sonar screens flickered, satellite phones lost signal, and underwater cameras went dark. Every device powered back on only after they retreated from the site. No clear explanation has been found for this interference, and the equipment logs offered no obvious fault or environmental cause. Lindberg described stair-step formations on the disk, features that seemed too regular for chance. If constructed, he noted, it would have to predate the last ice age. Media outlets seized on the story, fueling wild speculation about sunken UFOs and lost civilizations. Scientists, meanwhile, pointed to the region's glacial history. They argued the disk could be a natural rock formation, perhaps shaped by glacial movement and deposition. Yet the questions persist. Why such perfect geometry, and why the electronic blackout? The Baltic Sea anomaly remains one of the most confounding discoveries on the ocean floor. But here's where the mystery thickens. Even with new surveys and analysis, no single theory fits all the evidence, leaving the true nature of the Baltic disk unresolved. In the waters off Yonaguni, Japan, a diver searching for hammerhead sharks in the mid-1980s stumbled upon something entirely unexpected. A series of massive stone terraces, steps, and broad platforms stretching across the seafloor. The formations rise and fall in sharp angles, some resembling staircases, others taking the shape of broad plazas or even a stepped pyramid. The scale is immense. The largest terraces span nearly 150 meters in length, with vertical drops as tall as a 2-story building. Their clean lines and geometric precision sparked immediate debate. Professor Masaki Kimura of the University of the Ryukyus led a series of dives and surveys, cataloging features he believed could only be the work of an ancient civilization. Kimura argued these structures formed an underwater city, possibly built over 10,000 years ago, long before the oldest known Japanese settlements. He pointed to what looked like roads, canals, and even stone gates, suggesting a lost chapter of human history now hidden beneath the waves. But the case is far from settled. Professor Robert Schoch of Boston University, a geologist with years of fieldwork in Japan, examined the same formations and reached a starkly different conclusion. He described the Yonaguni terraces as the natural result of joint fracture geology. In this region, sandstone breaks along vertical and horizontal planes, creating blocks and steps that mimic architectural forms. Similar formations appear on land nearby, shaped by earthquakes and relentless ocean currents. The Yonaguni Monument sits at the crossroads of science and speculation. If carved by people, it would rewrite the timeline of civilization in Asia. If natural, it stands as a reminder of nature's ability to imitate the patterns of human hands. The debate continues, with each new expedition adding detail but never delivering certainty. The stones remain silent, leaving open the question: ancient city or geological wonder? September 2023, deep in the Gulf of Alaska. At a depth of 3,300 meters, where sunlight never reaches and pressure crushes anything unprepared, a team of NOAA scientists piloted their remotely operated vehicle across the seafloor. The cameras caught something that stopped the team cold, a perfectly smooth golden sphere about 4 inches across, resting alone on the silty bottom. The object's surface was unblemished, its color strikingly bright even in artificial light. Standard protocol called for careful sampling. A robotic arm reached out, delicately lifting the orb and sealing it in a sterile container for transport to the surface. Back in the lab, researchers confirmed the sphere was organic. It contained biological material, but no known species matched its structure or composition. The orb's golden pigmentation was especially confounding. At this depth, color serves little purpose. No predator or mate could see it, and chemical markers for camouflage or warning would be wasted in total darkness. Theories surfaced. Perhaps it was an egg from an unidentified deep-sea creature or a rare life stage of something previously cataloged. Genetic sequencing began, but the results offered no clear answers. The orb's DNA did not match any known database. Its function and origin remained elusive. A simple golden sphere found thousands of meters below the waves now sits in a laboratory, its existence raising more questions than answers. What creature made this? Why the gold? In the vast darkness of the abyss, how many more such enigmas are waiting undiscovered? In 1995, divers exploring the sandy seafloor off southern Japan stumbled upon something that looked almost too precise for nature. Perfect circles, each about 7 feet across, appeared in the sediment, delicate geometric patterns radiating like underwater crop circles. For years, no one could explain their origin. Geologists speculated about strange currents or rare chemical reactions. Marine biologists wondered if some unknown animal was at work, but no creature had ever been seen making them. The answer came in the early 2000s, when patient researchers set up underwater cameras and watched the mystery unfold. Tiny male pufferfish, barely the length of a human hand, were the architects. Driven by courtship, they spent days fanning their fins and pushing sand into ridges and valleys, sculpting intricate circles to attract a mate. The patterns weren't random, they were deliberate, precise, and remarkably consistent. Females would inspect the designs, choosing the most impressive nest to lay their eggs. The revelation solved the puzzle, but it also deepened it. Why circles? How does a small fish, alone in the shifting currents, create such flawless geometry? The pufferfish's artistry revealed a level of intelligence and instinct that scientists had never expected. Even when a mystery is solved, sometimes the answers only raise more profound questions about the hidden talents of life beneath the waves. May 16, 2022, Mossel Bay, South Africa. From the air, drones and helicopters tracked a pod of 5 orcas moving with purpose through waters known for great white sharks. Among them, 2 males stood out, port and starboard, each with a collapsed dorsal fin already infamous among local researchers. That day, the team captured what had never been seen so clearly before. Orcas hunting great whites in a coordinated assault. Starboard was filmed closing in on a shark, executing a precise attack that targeted the liver, a nutrient-rich organ. Within minutes, the shark floated lifeless, its liver expertly removed. The footage, published in the scientific journal Ecology, confirmed what years of forensic strandings had only suggested. After the hunt, local shark cage diving logs and satellite tags recorded a sudden exodus. Great whites vanished from the bay, leaving a silence that lasted for weeks. Marine biologists studying the event recognized more than just predation. They saw a calculated strategy passed among orcas, capable of reshaping the region's entire food web. The question now is not just how orcas learned this technique, but whether such knowledge spreads through teaching. hinting at a kind of cultural transmission in the deep sea. The implications are staggering, and the patterns of predator and prey in these waters may never be the same. In July 2023, at Explorer Seamount in the Northeast Pacific, researchers aboard a Canadian survey vessel expected to find an extinct volcano, a cold relic of the sea floor. Instead, their instruments registered a pulse of heat, hydrothermal vents pouring geothermally warmed water into the deep. The summit of the seamount rises 5,250 feet above the surrounding plain, its slopes veined with fissures where shimmering hot fluids escape. Cameras revealed a living oasis, dense colonies of corals and tube worms thriving in the mineral-rich currents. But the real astonishment came with the discovery of egg cases scattered across the warm slopes. Over 1 million Pacific white skate eggs, each encased in a leathery pouch, blanketed the terrain. No other nursery of this scale had ever been documented in the deep sea. The geothermal warmth appears to speed up the skate's development, offering a rare evolutionary advantage in the cold abyss. Yet how these animals locate the vents, or why such a massive congregation occurs here and nowhere else, remains unknown. The implications are staggering. If one seamount can harbor this much hidden life, what else might be waiting just beyond the reach of our maps? Today, more than 95% of the deep ocean remains unexplored. Recent decades have revealed a 60-meter disk in the Baltic Sea that resists clear explanation, submerged terraces off Yonaguni debated by scientists, and a golden biological sphere found at 3,300 meters that no lab has classified. We have watched pufferfish engineer perfect circles, orcas overturn the hierarchy of apex predators, and a supposedly extinct seamount shelter over 1 million skate eggs. Yet for every discovery, new questions emerge. Who or what shaped the Baltic disk? Is Yonaguni a lost city or nature's work? What organism creates a golden sphere in absolute darkness? As of 2024, 73% of the sea floor still lacks detailed mapping. Each expedition has shown that the ocean's secrets are far from exhausted. The implications are clear. The deep sea holds mysteries that challenge what we know and remind us how much remains undiscovered.